At that exact moment, as Atesh's finger trembled on the trigger, time itself seemed to freeze. Even the wind coming from the sea fell silent, as if the world was holding its breath. Nezir stood there without fear, his forehead pressed against the barrel of the gun, his eyes locked onto Ateş with an unsettling calm. There was something deeply disturbing in his expression, not fear, not regret, but acceptance. Almost as if he had already made peace with death. And that raised the most terrifying question of all. Would Ateş actually pull the trigger, or would this moment change everything forever? Atesh's chest rose and fell rapidly. Inside him, a war was raging, between rage and conscience, between revenge and justice. Nezir's words echoed again and again in his mind. If you don't kill me now, I will always be a problem for you. It wasn't just a threat. It was a promise, a reality Ateş could not ignore. But taking a life, even the life of someone who had hurt Marin so deeply, was not something Ateş could do lightly. His hand tightened around the gun, his jaw clenched, his eyes burning with anger. Nezir leaned even closer, almost forcing Ateş to make a decision. "What's wrong?" he said mockingly. "Don't you have the courage?" That one sentence pierced through Ateş like a blade. And just as his finger began to press the trigger, a distant sound shattered the silence. Sirens. Both men froze for a split second. The sound of approaching police cars echoed along the shore. The moment was broken. Nezir smirked faintly. "You're too late, Ateş. This is no longer in your hands." Atesh's expression hardened. The storm inside him didn't calm. It intensified. But something shifted. Slowly, painfully, he lowered the gun. "You're not done," Ateş said through clenched teeth. "This isn't over." Nezir let out a quiet laugh. "It will never be over. I will always be your nightmare." Police officers arrived, shouting commands, weapons drawn. "Drop the gun. Hands up." Ateş stepped back and let the gun fall to the ground. Nezir attempted to move, perhaps to escape, but it was too late. Within seconds, he was on the ground, handcuffed. As they dragged him up, Nezir looked straight at Ateş one last time. "This is just the beginning," he whispered. Ateş didn't respond. He simply turned away, his face unreadable. But inside him, nothing felt resolved. Because deep down he knew Nezir was right. This wasn't the end. Back at the house, Marin was growing increasingly restless. She hadn't heard from Ateş, and every passing minute made her heart pound harder. Her thoughts spiraled into dark possibilities. "Why isn't he answering?" she whispered, pacing back and forth. She walked toward the window, staring outside as if she could somehow see him coming back. But instead of comfort, an unexplainable fear crept into her chest. Do you think Marin's fear is just anxiety, or is it the beginning of something much bigger? Just then, the doorbell rang. Marin froze. Her heartbeat echoed in her ears as she slowly walked toward the door. Her hand trembled slightly as she opened it. Simul stood there. One look at his face, and Marin knew something had changed. "Ateş, where is he?" she asked immediately. "Is he okay?" Simul hesitated. That silence was enough to tighten the knot in her chest. "Simul, say something." He finally spoke. "Ateş is fine, but things are about to change." Marin's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" Simul took a breath. "Nezir has been caught." Relief washed over her, but only for a second. Because right after that something else followed. Fear. Because Nezir's words still echoed in her mind. "This isn't over." Marin slowly stepped back and sat down, her hands clasped tightly together. "Is it really over?" she whispered. "What do you think? Is this truly the end, or just the calm before a much darker storm?" Meanwhile, Demet sat alone in her office, completely still. Her brother had been arrested, but instead of relief, her heart felt heavier than ever. She couldn't forget his voice, his desperation, his madness. Her phone buzzed suddenly. A message. Unknown number. She opened it, and her entire body went cold. "Everything started because of you, and it will end because of you." Her hands began to shake. "What does this mean?" she whispered, panic rising in her chest. Was it Nezir? No, that couldn't be. He had just been arrested. Then who? Is someone else behind all of this? Demet quickly dialed Semel's number, but it kept ringing. No answer. Her fear grew stronger. Because that message wasn't random. It was a warning. At the same time, Ateş was driving back home. His grip on the steering wheel was tight, his thoughts chaotic. Nezir's eyes, his words, everything replayed in his mind. Then suddenly his phone rang. Unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. A calm, cold voice spoke. You think catching Nezir ends this, but you've only seen a small part of the game. Ateş's expression darkened instantly. Who is this? A soft chuckle came from the other side. You'll find out soon enough, but know this. Marin is not safe. Ateş's heart dropped. What are you talking about? But the call ended. Silence. Ateş's breathing became heavier. His mind raced. Who was that? What did they want? And, most importantly, how did they know about Marin? He tightened his grip on the wheel and pressed the accelerator harder. Because now, this wasn't just about revenge anymore. This was about protection. This was about Marin. And back at the house, Marin stood near the window, still waiting for Ateş, completely unaware that the danger she feared was already much closer than she imagined. So, what do you think will happen next? Will the real enemy finally reveal themselves? Can Ateş truly protect Marin from what's coming? Or is everything about to fall into a darkness far deeper than before? And the most important question of all, in this story, who is truly innocent? If you enjoyed this intense episode and want more thrilling stories like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel Series World for more daily drama updates. Now tell me this, do you think Nezir was really the main villain, or is someone else still hiding in the shadows? Drop your answers in the comments. I'm reading every single one.